"I'll pay you back when I grow up," little girl told a millionaire after he bought her a glass of milk. The richest people are not always the ones with the fullest hearts, and sometimes the smallest act of kindness creates a promise that changes two lives forever. On a bright spring morning, while the city rushed through another ordinary day, a little girl stood outside a tiny neighborhood grocery store with trembling hands and hopeful eyes. She wasn't asking for money or toys. She only wanted a single glass of milk because she hadn't eaten since the previous afternoon. Across the street, a lonely millionaire happened to notice her, never imagining that one simple decision would come back years later in a way that no amount of money could ever buy. Before we continue, if you believe kindness and second chances can truly change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the Kindness Project. Your support helps us bring more heartwarming stories to people around the world. Adrian Mercer had built one of the country's largest construction companies from nothing. Newspapers admired his wealth, business magazines praised his determination, and television hosts called him a visionary. Yet behind the expensive suits and luxurious cars lived a man whose mansion echoed with silence. His parents had passed away years earlier, his marriage had ended because success had consumed every hour of his life, and every evening he returned home to empty rooms that reminded him that money could build buildings but never replace love. That particular morning, Adrian had cancelled an important meeting simply because he needed to escape the pressure surrounding him. As he walked through an older neighborhood where he had grown up, memories of his difficult childhood returned with every step. Near the grocery store stood a tiny girl named Marisol. Her clothes were clean but worn, and she held an empty glass bottle she hoped someone might fill with milk. Her mother had been working double shifts after falling behind on rent, while illness had kept her from working regularly. Marisol refused to beg. She quietly waited, believing someone might help if they understood her situation. When Adrian saw the nervous child looking through the shop window, something inside him reminded him of the frightened little boy he had once been. Instead of walking away, he entered the store, bought the largest glass of fresh milk available along with warm bread and fruit, then gently placed them into her hands. Marisol accepted the food with grateful eyes that sparkled brighter than the morning sun. She finished the milk slowly as if every drop mattered. When she finally looked up, her tiny face carried a determination far beyond her years. She promised that one day, when she grew up, she would repay him. Adrian smiled warmly, believing those innocent words were simply the hopeful dream of a grateful child. Before leaving, he quietly paid for several weeks of groceries for Marisol's family without telling them who had done it. He disappeared into the crowd, carrying nothing but a lighter heart than he had felt in many years. Life continued moving forward. Adrian became even wealthier, but he also began creating scholarship programs and community food centers inspired by that brief meeting. Although he never forgot the little girl, he assumed she had long forgotten him. Meanwhile, Marisol's family slowly found stability. Watching strangers show compassion during the hardest days shaped her understanding of the world. She studied tirelessly despite financial struggles, often reading borrowed books late into the night under a dim kitchen light while her mother rested after exhausting workdays. Every challenge strengthened her dream of helping others the way someone had once helped her. Years passed like changing seasons. Marisol earned scholarships through extraordinary dedication and eventually entered medical school. The road was far from easy. She balanced classes with part-time jobs, survived sleepless nights, and sometimes questioned whether she could continue. Whenever exhaustion tempted her to quit, she remembered the warm glass of milk and the stranger who had believed her life mattered. That memory reminded her that one person's compassion could become another person's future. At the same time, Adrian's business empire faced unexpected difficulties. A series of natural disasters damaged several major projects, lawsuits drained company resources, and constant stress began affecting his health. He ignored warning signs for months until one afternoon he collapsed during a charity event. Doctors discovered a rare but treatable condition requiring immediate specialized care. Adrian was transferred to one of the nation's leading hospitals, where an experienced physician happened to review his complicated case. That physician was Dr. Marisol Rivera. At first she recognized only the familiar kindness in his tired eyes. As she carefully reviewed his history and spoke with hospital staff, memories from childhood slowly returned. The generous stranger who had offered a hungry little girl a simple glass of milk now lay frightened and vulnerable in one of her hospital rooms. Adrian, however, did not recognize the confident doctor standing beside him. Time had changed them both. Dr. Marisol devoted herself completely to his recovery. She coordinated specialists, monitored every detail of his treatment, and refused to give up when complications appeared. Weeks of careful medical care slowly restored Adrian's strength. During long evenings, he often wondered why this doctor showed such extraordinary dedication to a patient she barely knew. He believed it was simply professional kindness, never realizing their lives had crossed decades earlier. Eventually the day arrived when Adrian was healthy enough to leave the hospital. His greatest fear was not the illness anymore but the enormous medical bill waiting for him. Financial setbacks had forced him to sell many assets, and although he remained respected, paying for months of advanced treatment seemed impossible. With trembling hands, Adrian opened the envelope. Instead of seeing a crushing balance, he found a single handwritten note attached to the statement. It simply read that the entire bill had already been paid many years ago, with one glass of milk. Below the message was the signature of Dr. Marisol Rivera. In that unforgettable moment, Adrian finally understood. Tears filled his eyes as memories rushed back to the little girl standing outside the grocery store promising she would repay him when she grew up. What he had considered a small act of compassion had become the foundation of an extraordinary life dedicated to saving others. His kindness had never been lost. It had quietly grown through years of hope, sacrifice, education, and love until it returned in a way no one could have predicted. Adrian left the hospital with renewed purpose. Together, he and Dr. Marisol established a charitable foundation providing free meals, educational scholarships, and medical assistance for struggling families. Thousands of children found hope through programs inspired by one simple moment of generosity between a lonely millionaire and a hungry little girl. Their story spread across communities, reminding people that compassion is never an expense but an investment whose greatest rewards often arrive when least expected. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and tell us in the comments about a small act of kindness that changed your life. Don't forget to subscribe to the Kindness Project for more inspiring stories that restore faith in humanity. Special request, comment below with the words, "Kindness always comes back." The next time you have the chance to help someone, remember that you may never know where that single act of compassion will lead. A glass of milk may seem small today, but tomorrow it could become hope, healing, and a miracle that changes generations forever.